What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Roots and Routes podcast. Yes, Tisha, you look great. Everything is good. Um, you could probably get your IG on now too, Tisha. So if you go back to that screen, we'll get that on. We're getting everybody technologically trained up here. Um, but shout out to y'all, man. What's going on? For all y'all that happened to tune in a little bit earlier, welcome back. Got my friends with me. Got a lot to talk about tonight. Definitely. I feel like every time I get a notification on my phone, it's some other interesting things. And I think we've got to start with. I think I woke up this morning and I was on TikTok and I'm like, these guys are getting upset.
Yeah.
You put the words into the air and people start getting a little touchy regarding what their preference is. And nobody has anything with preference, but tonight we're going to get into a number of topics that has probably graced your airways, your phone, or whatever the case is. But the elephant is in the room, at least the one that's in the comments, is the whole entire passport movement. Now, don't get me wrong, because it is guys and girls. Like, so do not just position this as just men doing their thing. But it has been getting touchy in the comments because I'm like, did somebody hurt y'all? Is everything okay?
We shook the
The
table.
blanket statements. Huh? What'd you say?
We shook the table. They mad. We shook the
I,
table.
I didn't. I have not done nothing besides just put positivity out here. But I'm starting to see, and I'm like, Akeem ain't here tonight, so shout out to Akeem. But he was like, I want to hear from him, and I'm like, I mean, what I've been hearing, I don't necessarily want to hear, but what I'm seeing is that people are on the internet jumping in the comments saying that like what was it well, they said that they didn't want us anymore, so why they upset? And I asked y'all, when did y'all say that y'all don't want American men? I'm not even talking about anybody of color. I'm talking about American men, because this is what they are saying, that there's reason why they're leaving. And I hear like American women are like, American men don't want me either, so I'm looking for people elsewhere. What is y'all take on that?
I think our conversation about that whole topic last week was very positive. I think I can say for all of us, we really are not that invested in what you guys do, but it is a topic that is hot right now. Um, but to say that we don't like black men is like kind of crazy when my husband is just like the epitome of a Marley. Like, I don't even understand. We're just trying to talk to you guys in reference of how to be safe. Like there's and then that there's other things to do in Colombia. I don't think no one wants that to be like the slogan for Colombia. So I think it was more of that. We really didn't touch on like your preferences, like who can really speak on that. But the negativity, it was shown in the comments, like the people who are, I guess, immature in mindset and made it about a black woman versus man thing. And it was never even about that. I think we were very positive and just like trying to teach them, like, hey, do it this way. Hey, stay safe. Hey, if you're not gonna play safe, you're gonna play Russian roulette. Here's some medicine to use. Like, we were really helping everybody. You know that can't get me mad, right? So I was just shocked at all the little backlash, and I was just like, okay, that's just the mentality of some and not many. But yeah, it's comical. I mean, it's comical.
And I have another perspective too, because this conversation has been coming up a lot, like with a lot of the black women who live here. Like, we are deep out here, okay? Um, I wouldn't be surprised if it comes out, like, you know what I mean, looking at the actual numbers. I haven't looked at the actual numbers to see the rates, like, of who's living with, like, who's living abroad, you know what I mean? But I know that there are a lot of us, black women out here, and the conversations are constantly, naturally coming up. Like, what about dating? People ask me that all the time, like, what about dating here and stuff. So the truth is, unfortunately, a lot of times it's like it seems like the opposite. It's like you can hardly even get a especially if you know he's foreigner, like a black guy, like that'll even pay attention to you, like it walking down the street. Like it's not, it ain't even like, you know, I'm expecting you to holler at me like that. But it's like it's a weird enough thing, like, and it's common enough to where so many people have mentioned it. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like dating is not even like a thing on people's radar for real. You know, like
Yeah, I
That
would
is
say
that.
that's definitely
Now go ahead,
true.
Tisha.
I tell it's sad to say, but I do get that a lot. Like, how's it dating? I'm a single black woman. I wanna, and I hate saying this. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I really, really hate saying this, but I really been telling women lately, hey, you gotta be open. You really have to be open to every race at this point. And I hate saying it. I honestly do, because I don't think I saw a documentary and it was saying like after 3 generations, you wipe out our genes, right? So that
I
scares
think
me.
that
That scares the
I
hell out of me, okay? But I also I hear the women crying, and so many dope women out here that deserves to be with someone. So all I would say is, guys, not in Colombia. It is not the place for you.
it's hard.
I
But it's not just isolated to Colombia though. Like there's so many other places. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to this, but DR was a place, and particularly I haven't been there, but I know things. Sosua was a place. I don't know what is exactly going on, but all of the things I've seen out of Sosua is like it's empty. There's nobody there.
Mhm.
There's nobody. They everybody moved or whatever the case is. So it's not just Colombia, and that's what also happens is Colombia has been on many of people's radar before we even got privy to it. I came in
Mhm.
2017. I know a couple other brothers that were here, before in Colombia then, but it's just not that many of us that were here from all the way back then, never mind before 2017. Whereas Thailand and Vietnam and the Philippines, these have all been places before this whole, let's call it a passport bros movement with a whole t-shirt and a name and everything. It wasn't a thing. So we
Yeah,
have to not just frame it as Colombia, because Colombians and Vietnamese people and Filipinos, and it's a number of different local entities that are saying that these kinds of movements are sullying what we're just trying to do as just living. And I think
yeah,
that what happens when you get into, you're putting a name on it as a passport bro or guy,
Mhm.
it's extremely exploitive. Now, if you go somewhere and you find somebody and you're looking for love, and they're not a person that is selling love, then by all means. But to wear
right.
it out, like to almost Christopher Columbus and like put your little triangle hat on, and you're like, I'm on my way to find my wife, because this entire country of men or women are the type of men or women that I desire. That
Right.
it seems extremely exploitive. Like,
Mhm.
in considering that a lot of y'all are saying that the reason why you are so focused and positioned at this particular kind of male or female is because of what somebody did to you. And I
Mhm.
often ask the people, who are you, like, really? Because this whole blanket statement of somebody, American women did something to me to where I am completely turned off from all of them walking within that it just seems like it may be you, because all of the women I know, they are different. They like skinny dudes, they like bald dudes, they like tall dudes, they like small dudes, they like all kind of dudes. My homegirl, she be like, where my short king at? So you just like girls that don't like short kings, and now it's all Americans or all women's.
Well,
So
I think
what?
to we were to double back, like to reiterate a thing that you said and something that I know I made a point of the last time we had the conversation of when it gets to into exploitation, right? Like because other places that you named, and I've been to more, even they're even spreading in Africa. You know what I mean? Like on all the continents in Asia, in Africa, like it's been happening, right? And the thing is, we're thinking about not people who are going in like, I want to get married, I want to find love. This is not what we're talking about. We're talking about people who go to places where you know your dollar is stretching far, and that is what you're leading with. You're leading with your pockets of, you know, like what I can do for her, so she's gonna, you know what I mean, like that's what they're thinking, even though a lot of them be cheap. I ain't even gonna hold you. Too many of them who identify like, and a lot of them are self-identifying as passport bros, but the thing about it is like a lot of them are still even cheap. It's not even like they're really tricking, you know what I mean, like that. But it's the mentality too. And it's just like, you know, you're going to exploit. And just like somebody in the comments, I said, you know, I saw it and I've heard this, you know, several times, like, well, what about like when it was white guys, you know, it wasn't such a thing. Yes, it was. Like we noticed it when it was white men too. But why do you want to go and copy degenerate behavior? Like, why is it okay just because you're black? That it's okay to do it. And it's like you can go just like, you know, we talked about before, you can go and be a colonizer just as anybody else. You know what I mean? So it's like we can't, just because you're black, we're not giving it a pass. It's like trash behavior is trash behavior. And there's certain things that constitute it as being trash behavior. You're not just going like as a hopeless romantic and, you know, you just want to find love and you know, but yeah, because usually there is something attached.
Listen,
What somebody else did to me, you know, a lot of them be bitter or hurt, whatever, but mm-mm.
and if you like certain kinds of like, and I hate this fish, but I'm like, I don't like sardines. I don't like anchovies. I don't go telling everybody that I meet how much I don't like anchovies and don't like sardines. I also don't go above and beyond to be like, I love this and I love that. Although I do love my black women. Now, if you don't, that's on you. But that is one of the things I do go above and beyond of. But outside of that, I'm not yelling my preferences. And honestly, I'm not yelling like, this is what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for anybody. So these are realizations that it's just like, I often tell people the number of people that are not looking for, and I'm talking to my community, in our community, black men or black women as a black man or black women looking for whatever kind of relationship you're into.
Mhm.
These things are facts. Like there's so many of us that are, the numbers don't actually weigh into what the conversations are leading. Yet we keep having these things as if they're the majority in this scenario. And it's like, okay, my brother or sister, if you like what you like, then please subscribe to what you want to subscribe to. However, it shouldn't be like, let's go bash people and make it seem as what it is that somebody did to you. No, listen, there is no campaign in the United States where American women of any sort are going out and saying, uh oh. What was that face?
I thought I had I thought I stopped the live. Okay. But I'm
No, you're
listening.
good.
Okay.
They're not going out and saying like, "I don't want American men." There's no
Yeah.
like campaign. There's no like real T-shirts. You're like, "Oh, there's a T-shirt with a girl." It's probably AI. Like these things, and it's just like I don't understand the framing of when considering there are so many other things going on in the world, and one of the things that the reason why we're talking about it is realistically because people go with these attitudes and these store processes and not realize that they mess it up for people that is not even involved.
Mhm.
The local sentiment comes that tourists are coming here to
That's
exploit
correct.
men or women. So like if you go on Medellin's airport, you literally, and we were telling you that the other day, like you Medellin airport, there's like no to sex tourism, we will lock you up. But it's that bad where they have to tell you at the airport, and it's a big wall because you guys are getting outrageous thinking that you can just live another life in another country and nobody has knows the better. And it's just traveling isn't about that. You may find the love of your life. Great.
Mhm.
But I think anybody leaving where they know, looking for the love of their life, and not even knowing themselves, they are in a whole different boat that they just don't need to be in.
Mhm. There's a lot of things that happen here that they have no clue about. And I want to go on record and say, listen, Linda, we are not hating on y'all. I don't give a damn what you do. I'm just telling you to be safe. Like I really don't. I really don't, because those type of guys that communicate like that and come down here like that, they wouldn't even. I wouldn't communicate with them on a regular basis. We not even on the same frequency. So I want to be clear. I don't care what you do. My whole goal was to tell you to be safe and do what you're doing. Whatever's gonna come is gonna come your way, right? Y'all don't have to listen to us, but I'm just telling y'all, we don't need the hate mail. We don't give a damn. We out here living life the right way. All of that stuff end up backfiring. If you listen to my video in 6 months, y'all are sad, broke, and want a regular girl. Like we can, hey, y'all can come on the show. Better yet, come on the show, because I like to have fun. This Virgo energy ain't scared of nothing. But I just want to put it out there. We are not hating on you guys. Do we understand why you do it? Hell no. Do we agree with it? No. But again, that is your choice. But all of that slick talk and all that, we don't need that. We're a positive group, and just want to explain to y'all, they not respecting y'all neither, and it's gonna be a big crackdown on all of that stuff to come. And we just trying to explain there's so much to do in Colombia outside of that. Outside of
All of these
that,
places.
it's so much to do.
All
So
of these
just
places.
yeah, so just definitely find something to do. And I want to say hey to everybody because we got people on live. We just came in hot. We came in hot. We didn't introduce anybody. We didn't say anything. And y'all, don't laugh at me. I'm
We
getting
done
my
lost.
feet done right now at the same time. But this is how businesswomen take
Come
care of
on,
things.
Myra.
So
Getting over there, getting your feet done.
I am. I'm not lying. But yes, welcome everybody. This is Roots and Route. RJ, take it over. Podcast. We get on here, we talk every week. We try to get y'all the tips and tools of living abroad. Many of us have lived in other places outside of me. I've only been in Colombia in the US. And we're just giving you the jewels, man. Telling you how to do businesses, how to move here, how to do the things the right way. So thank everybody for coming out. And now you go, RJ. We came in hot.
And thank you, Tisha, live from Santa Marta. Nah, I appreciate it. Nah,
Hmm.
it's what we're doing here is really trying to give people some understanding because you guys get a lot of things that y'all see about things going on abroad, how they affect the world, and honestly, the United States isn't really giving it to you. So the only people that can give it to you is honestly people that look like you, people that understand what you left, and honestly what it is like on the other side. So we realistically bring myself, Tisha, Michelet, when the internet is working, and brother Akeem on to bring the real expat stories to life, giving you guys some understanding of where you are exactly back in America, and understanding what our life is and what your life can be like once you get on the other side of the TSA. So
Hmm.
we done talked about the first word because that first word is a buzzword, but the second word I keep running into, Tisha, and it's interesting because it wasn't something that was like I didn't realize it was going to be controversial, but when I think about it, it does. But this like expat versus immigrant thing,
Oh.
um, depending on who is using it, it is utilized as hate speech sometimes. Um, we consider ourselves expats, not immigrants, these kind of
Hmm.
things. But I feel like, hey, if you want to call me an immigrant, cool. No harm, no foul. But you're not gonna call me in America, so I don't care. So, but I realize that that's becoming a thing of discourse on the internet, where more and more people are like, well, why are some people called expats, yet people that look like this are called immigrants? And it's funny because they're like, well, the brown people or black people are called immigrants. Well, I'm
Hmm.
black and they refer to me as like an expat or
Hmm.
digital nomad or whatever you want to call it. But I'm starting to see more things bubble up about this, and I don't know really what to take it because I am not really that caught up on the word for me. But
Yeah.
whatever you want.
it's like another one of those things like that people just want to create division about. Like nobody freaking cares, man. Like how are you as a person? How is your frequency? Like you really, I saw those comments like, why you call yourself an expat? You're an immigrant. And I'm like, what the hell, America? Like there's so much that we need to be focusing on. I think, oh, gringo. That's like in the comments they said, oh, gringo, right? I don't know. I don't get offense to any of it. It's weird, and I haven't really even thought about it, but it's now becoming a huge buzzword. Um, don't disrespect me. That's it. Those words, I just don't see them as disrespect. We're all working through like what we call, because I'm still struggling with Black African American. I'm struggling with all of that. So at this point, we just living, y'all. Like it's not. I don't know. I can't. Maybe Michelle Leah has some more to add to it, or you, RJ. But I'm just like I'm not even picking that one up. I'll pick up something else that's more important.
It's here's my thing. It's not of my concern, but I know it is something that people are getting inundated with because they start because what happens is the discourse, the people that are looking to move abroad, they see it,
Mm-hmm.
and they're trying to figure out how local people could treat them, how they could be involved in the community where they may from the outside looking in thinking it's like, oh, well, there's this discourse about this word or even the gringo and the gringo tax. It's a lot of question marks around actually moving abroad and what these buzzwords are that you hear. And when it comes down to like the expat and immigrant thing, I tell so many people, and now I've realized it when we were talking, I'm like, you know what? I've realized it now because we don't in America, we're not familiar with the expat term. Like, it's not a thing that has been like, it's kind of new. But
Mm-hmm.
immigrant has always been something. But do you know why people are asking you what jobs you can get abroad? Because of a word immigrant and how it is utilized in the United States, where it's like, oh, this
Mm-hmm.
person immigrated here, so now they're looking for a job, and then they are going abroad, or at least thinking that they're going abroad and finding a local job. Oh, I'm a carpenter in the United States, so I can be a carpenter here, or I'm in construction. Like I've seen all of these, I've gotten all these questions. Like I do construction. What kind of
Mm-hmm.
construction jobs or electrician jobs can I get there? And they're thinking of immigrating or leaving the United States in a way where they're actually going to start working there. And many times it's not afforded to that way. It's not even set up where it's like you're not going to immigrate to these expat destinations. You are going to take your money, whatever it is, USD, Euro, whatever, and then work either remotely or take a pension somewhere. And I think that may be a lot of the breakdown in the word also because most of the people are looking from America aren't going to get a job. And I don't have any problem with either one of them. I just think a lot of people don't realize the nuances in the two different words, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's definitely a difference.
Welcome back.
I yeah, welcome back, Shelly. I guess
Okay.
in your regard, people are thinking, oh, if I say I'm an immigrant, I'll have some of these resources that immigrants have in the US. No, guys. And for the, I think we've said this so many times, like, if don't think of coming here to get a job. Like, yes, they have the teachers' jobs, they have the online tutoring. Some schools, private schools, will let Americans work in those schools, but I wouldn't have that to be my main goal, right? Um,
Mm.
as far as the terms, like Michelle, you were gone and we were talking about the new thing is like, why are we not calling ourselves immigrants instead of
Yeah,
expats and
right.
all
I was
that?
listening. Hmm.
Okay, okay, but let's
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely have something to chime in on this. Okay.
Yeah.
So I was actually encountered with this question not well a few years ago, and it wasn't actually even to me directly, but it was somebody like saying like y'all, you know what I mean? And so like you said, well, let me see. How do I really want to frame this? There is a difference, I feel, right? For me, I think when you think immigrant, you're thinking somebody that's moving their entire life to fully, like, you're like settling in, right, to a place, like fully settling in, integrating into all the things. You're trying to get citizenship and all of this stuff, right? I cannot identify that as that because that's not what I'm doing. Like I've moved to multiple places. I don't stay one place forever and like you know what I mean? Like I'm not trying to gain citizenship everywhere. I'm not trying to, you have like the legal things, that are in place, like regulations, like as far as getting a visa. Like I have worked in schools, like being a teacher, working in international schools, that has been in my experience, right? Like so I've been working whether a digital nomad like here or whether like I said working in a school or something like that. But I think that is a very clear difference, for some of us. But I think it is like a hot talking point because for one, it's the arrogance of a lot of people from the West, you know what I mean? Like that's what happens a lot of times. It's not us necessarily that's even leading this conversation, or you know what I mean, like a lot of us are just now really starting to get into it, right? So I think this is the first time we're seeing this conversation happen, but it's not like I think, like I said, I think it's kind of like an arrogance, right? And we see immigration issues in these Western countries, in the US, in the UK, right? In these European countries, and people talking like, so it's like, well, you want to kick the ethnic people out, but we are ethnic people too. So we're not the ones even tell them, you know what I mean? We ain't in control of having somebody else leave the countries that we were even born in. You know what I mean? So it's like we unfortunately get caught up like in the crossfire of this conversation. But yeah, still I wouldn't, if there's a white skinned person and a black skinned person who are doing the same thing, like why not classify them as the same thing? But we are doing different things. That's the reality of it, right? Like we're not all permanently trying to stay somewhere and establish our lives in the same way.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. Like, there's definitely some nuances to it. I think that people just use the words to throw out the nuances and use them as privileged or unprivileged in a way where how some people will say a word that is not a controversial word, but the tone that they're using is of one of either reverence or one of disgust. And I think a lot of people are getting upset, rightfully so, because one word is some reverence, revered word that is like, well, we are expats and we are traveling the world and finding out who we are. And then it's other like immigrants, especially because right now, like the Supreme Court in the United States is going at it with ICE and what they're allowed to do. And I think it's such a unique thing, guys, because people kept saying it's not my problem. Immigration is not my problem. In the United States, ICE running down on people at banks, grocery stores, houses, schools. It's not my problem. It's not me. Blah 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 blah. Well, the Supreme Court in the United States said, ICE got to do their job. So we are fine with them racially profiling who they need to go pick up.
Mhm.
So I tell those people that said
It
it
wasn't
wasn't
me.
me, Shaggy, to ask who's going to determine whether or not you not I'm not a Dominican. I'm not, and it's so crazy. I feel like my grandmama foreshadowed it. She kept calling me. My grandma is 93 years old. She don't make outbound calls. She only get inbound calls. And I'm on the phone with her, and she literally was like, "You don't need to come back to Philadelphia because you got a beard, and ICE gonna pick you up." And I'm like, "What are you talking about? Why would ICE pick me up? Like, I have an American passport." Lo and behold, 2 weeks later, the Supreme Court say, "Oh well, they can. What's the difference between a Dominican, a Puerto Rican? It's plenty of people that look just like me in all of these places that may or may not be on the right paperwork according to the United States government." And now what y'all going to see, at least in the United States, is things get a little bit more hairier, honestly, because this immigrant thing, we done got from expat to immigrant to what the hell is going on where a lot of these viewers are, and not realizing that things are consistently shifting, not from like anybody, because I know Tisha is not anybody on and where a lot of people are, because a lot of people are thinking like maybe I should leave and maybe I should not, but then not realizing that y'all gonna be keep getting positioned into your, like, almost like your back is on the wall almost, because daily I keep seeing things that are changing in the news, if I'm not tripping.
Yeah, the news is rapidly changing. I honestly
You
think
guys
we
hear me?
got a little bit. You keep going in and out. I think we're gonna have a couple more tough moments from 26 to 27, but and all we can do is tell people have plan Bs, right? Because I don't want to push fear and doom, but I do want to have people to know, like, hey, have a plan before the hit the fans.
Yeah.
I have a full house tonight, guys. I'm sorry, but have a plan before stuff hits the fan. Especially if you have a family, have a place that you want to go. I'm in Colombia. I've been here almost 5 years. I've already am working on the next location because something could happen here too. But from my spiritual guidance, we should be good. But the goal of all of us getting online and showing you guys our lifestyle and things that are happening, one is to show you you have an option, right? Because we all were just like you in America, frustrated, didn't understand why, didn't know what was going to happen, worried about 401k, worried about retirement, inflamed, full of inflammation and all of this stuff, couldn't get a good food quality, none of the we all were just like you, we all just acted on it, right? And so now that we're here and we've learned so much, we're coming online to say, hey guys, it can get better. Hey guys, there's other opportunities. Hey guys, check this out. Hey guys, plan, because you can't keep going through that drama and then not making a choice to do something different, right? And so I think if people are getting that message from us, then we're doing a good job. But I try my best not to push the fear because I want the people to make the choice for themselves. That's just my point of view. Everyone's different, right? I don't want people coming over here because, oh, I'm mad at the news right now, I'm mad at what's going on, and then God pray that it gets better, they're ready to go home. Like this opened my eyes to so much coming to Colombia, and it's like it solidified me to know I can go anywhere in this world and make it. Like I can do anything. Like it's an ego booster. Like and my ego was already up there, not like so superficial, but just in my belief of myself, right?
Yeah.
And so once you do something like this that you had no playbook, you had nobody to communicate with on how to make it happen, and you make it happen, it's a game changer. So I think if you guys can understand what we're trying to say, we're just like, look, there's options. Like RJ's in Mexico right now. Michelle is in Medellin. I'm in Santa Marta. Hakeem normally is in Cali. It's so many different perspectives, right? And I think that's what I love about the podcast. We all have different um belief systems about different things, but we're all still centered on the same thing of like this changed our life for the better.
Yeah.
Like,
And, and
and
what
we're
we
go ahead.
sorry. What we talked about last time, last week about it being intentional. It has to be very intentional. This is not just like a you just get up and go, like you said, because you're mad at a situation that's happening in the government back at home, and you know what I mean, or just because you broke up and you have a relationship problems. It's like this is not. You have to be prepared, like more mentally, emotionally, and things like that more than anything. You know what I mean? Because I think like we talked about last time, it being a process of cleansing, ridding yourself of your old ways and your old ways of thinking, you know what I mean,
Mhm.
and how we even adapt to our situations where we are. When you go somewhere else, it's a totally different place, so of course there are going to be different things about it, and we can't like continue to think that everything will be the same or everything will be like the norm that we're used to back
Mhm.
at home. So it's like a process, and really it's not for everybody. Like you have to think, and that's not a bad thing. It's not for everybody because everybody's not able to adapt easily.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? You'll
Mhm.
be blaming it on a place or blaming it on the people when really it was you because you're not adaptable.
Yes. And you haven't killed your ego, and you're so
Exactly.
comfortable in your comfortness, and you don't realize you box yourself in a prison. And the moment you
Mhm.
get okay with being uncomfortable, that is true freedom. I don't know how to explain it so you guys can understand it, but That if you can get that really quickly, like boy, yes. We've lost Michelle again.
Y'all bringing up a good point because it's like you don't need to just be running from something. Like I bring up awareness so that people, because a lot of people are just head down. I talked about this earlier. Like hustle culture got everybody where their head is down in the United States and they only focused about work and that's it, and not realizing that everything is going around them. But you got people that are leaving and they're like, I'm leaving because Trump is there, and it's like if that's the only reason that you're leaving, then you probably are not going to have a high success of actually for
Mm-hmm.
surviving abroad. And so many people, we have an issue where people sold all this stuff story. Can you believe it?
You breaking up, Jay.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
We're already to return. I think you can. I
So while RJ
think.
fixes the audio, I'll go to some of the comments in the question in the chat, guys. Thank you. Keep your comments coming. We have Nicole. She said, "I just moved to Colombia. It's a whole different world, and I love it." And I don't know how to explain it, but I love it too. Like it's the hype that they tell you, all the fear mongering, it goes away the moment you get here. Like you realize, like, ah man, I was played. I was played this whole time. And that's what most people come here and say. That's why Colombia is one of the highest tour places for tourism right now. Like they're killing every country. And once you come here, you just fall in love. She said, but yes, because people were saying, why are you moving there? And they have gains and they will hold you for ransom. That's a true comment because people just think that. But then look at America with
I'm
sex
about to say,
trafficking,
like,
kidnapping, shooting. They got switches. Ain't that what they call? They put them on them guns. They got switches on the guns. They look. They don't direct and shoot one person. They shooting up the whole bar. They got school shootings. They got brothers kidnapping their own kind. Like, come on, y'all. I don't ever fear walking out here on these streets. I haven't had that anxiety, but let me be back home in Atlanta. You better be know I'm on swivel like
right,
every 5 seconds, like
right,
with my son hand like this. Like you gotta don't you let go. You understand? So it be like so crazy to me when people from America be like, oh, it's dangerous, oh, it's unsafe. Even my mom, I've been here almost 5 years. She still be like, be careful. No, you be careful. You in Pittsburgh.
Be
They
safe.
we about to be the murder capital again.
right.
Don't hear no
Yeah,
gunshots
seriously.
for 5 years. I don't even hear sirens. Like if I hear a siren from an ambulance, I know something major happened. Literally, I can go months and not even hear a siren, a police siren, none of that. Now maybe in Medellin, you guys might hear it more because it's such a big city. But here, look, but here you rarely hear it. Like my friend here, she's like, "Girl, we don't hear none of that." Well, look, she telling me, but yeah, we really it's a crazy world. And where did you move from, Nicole? Philadelphia. She came down from Philadelphia, like North Philly.
Yeah.
Hold on, let's see. But yeah, so let me see if okay. We have another comment. 16 years ago, I decided to request my Colombian citizenship because both of my parents were from Colombia. My thoughts at the time was if shit were to hit the fan one day in the US, I can leave. That's so smart. Like you did the right thing. Like I'm my goal now is to have multiple citizenships. I want to be able to be agile and move if anything go wrong anywhere, you know? And so that's what everybody should be looking to. You got to remember, I say this all the time, this is America and this is the rest of the world. Like This is America. This is the like so guys, get out and see, experience, fall in love. We talked about it last week too. Every you get 6 months mostly in most countries. Go out and travel. See what you truly like. Did I lose everybody? I think I lost everybody. Hold on 1 second, guys. Michelle A looks so pretty. Can you hear me,
Thank
sis?
you. You as well.
Y'all are watching and you're coming to Santa Marta. Michelle A is like, I call her the Black Martha Stewart, but she won't accept the name. And I'm telling her she can go viral. Martha is gone. She needs some competition. If she ready for me to market her, I'm gonna make it happen. But she will
Yeah,
be
go
here
ahead.
this 20th, September 20th. Doing
Mhm.
workshops here in Santa Marta. If you ever in Medellin and you want to find something dope to do, she is the only person you need to be communicating with.
I appreciate
Wealth
you,
of
sis.
knowledge. Yes.
Yeah, I'm
There you
excited to come
go.
out there. So we about to look, we going coast to coast with it. All right, city to
Yes.
city. Hmm.
Yes.
But I love it. I mean, like you, right back at you, okay? Being able to come and do activities in your establishments. Like, this is amazing. This is what we out here doing, you know? So I
Yes.
love it. And this is the thing too, it's like, there's so much about just this experience, you know what I mean? Just getting out and doing things that you may not even be able to back at home, right? Like, because whether it's the cost, whether it's, I think, period, when you step outside of your normal environment, like, your brain is just telling you, like, I can do anything else, right? Like, you learn how to navigate around another language, another landscape and everything. And so it's like, of course things are working out, you know.
Hmm.
I wish more of
Yeah.
us do really experience more of that though.
Yeah, because I
But
think it gives you it softens you too. It
mhm.
like somebody texted me the other day and it was like, girl, you are living in your soft era. And I was like, really?
Yeah.
And she was like, then she went on and she was like, girl, is God preparing you for a baby? Because they having babies at 47. I was like, oh,
Oh.
don't do me. Don't do me. But yeah, it's like you get giddy again. You feel young
Yeah.
again. Like I'm outside running and stuff and just doing
Right.
things, swimming, hiking. I'm doing stuff I would have never
We
imagined. Like,
frolicking, we frolicking and dilly dallying. That's what they
and
No, for
it's
real.
so
This is the best,
fun.
and I've been feeling like that for a while. I'm glad you are too, and this is it's so much to this experience. But yeah, and going back to the dating part, like for those of us who happen to be single abroad and stuff, like I wish that it was that part for more of us. I think it will be, you know what I mean? I think we just wait on a new batch to get ready to come out the oven. 'Cause
Yeah, a new
I
batch
don't
is
know,
coming.
but
You can see the masculine man is coming back. I feel like it. They're all over
yeah.
my page. The masculine man is coming back.
Hmm.
That is just like adamant about us, right? And
And
so
yeah.
that's exciting. But
Mhm.
I think you remember how I told you we y'all be open. I am never gonna tell my sis to be single. Y'all be open for whatever that love look like, right? And then
Yeah.
we'll figure it out in the later life because maybe we done went too far. The brothers done
Right.
went too far. So
I
it's
feel you. Listen, I'm
look at
listening.
RJ.
In the meantime, I'm an import. I'm gonna bring mine in. Um, but yeah, I mean, I know, like, I'm not a person. I'm really an optimistic person. Like, I know plenty of good people, and for whatever
Mhm.
reason, you know what I mean. It can be platonic friendships. It can be, you know, just for a variety of reasons why you wouldn't be with somebody that you know is good. Um, but so I'm like, I know people out there who are good
Mhm.
people also. I know I'm a good person. I know I'm able to attract other good people. So I ain't in a rush. I think, it does become a thing. And I think that is placed by society, right? Like, of you need to have this, you need to be with so and so, you need to be able to have a child and have a home and have all of these things, and so I think that's added pressure where
Mhm.
you can have compassion, you can have a companionship and you can be fulfilled in different ways. Actually, just speaking of, just had a conversation, met up with another with the lady that I met years ago, like traveling
Uh-huh.
through a travel community, and she's out here. So she hit me up, and we're Coach Tish, shout out to you.
Uh-huh.
So we ended up meeting up at a restaurant out here with another friend too. It was Jasmine, her first day back in Medellin.
Mm-hmm.
And we're having this conversation. It was another lady who was there, and she's from the UK, but she's Kenyan, but from the UK. And so four Black women from different places, different corners of the world, having this conversation. That came up, dating, talking about love and things like that. And the conversations we were having is like how you can be fulfilled having other, we have friendships. You can go deeper into loving yourself. And I
Mm-hmm.
get
That
it. It's
part.
not about just, yeah, we could be DIY, but we don't
Yeah.
want to be DIY on everything, right? Like,
Yes.
but still, you can find companionship. And I think once you start doing more of that internal work, what if that's the thing? What if it's putting you in a position to do more internal work so that you do get the quality stuff that's going to come outside, right? Like, so
Hallelujah.
I am patient. Okay. I know
Yes.
love finds me. Everything works out for me. Everything finds me when it needs to. So I ain't worried. And I hope, sisters, that y'all listening and y'all ain't worried about it either.
Don't be
You
worried,
can't go
guys.
into desperation, though. Don't go into
Mm-mm.
desperation and despair. Like, no
No,
worries.
not at all.
Most of these people that are looking to move abroad or go abroad looking for love, I haven't even to start the journey of finding themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you might think, I got myself. I know exactly who I am in America. But you really don't understand what you're going to go through as just an individual before you go trying to go open up yourself for love when you fumbling with the language, fumbling with the culture. It's like y'all need to put the energy back in yourself. I know
Yes.
we need to be around people. We need affection. We need that kind of stuff. I'm not saying
Yeah.
you got to shy away from that. I'm just
Mm-hmm.
saying, like, you haven't taken your time to even like figure out who you are without America's pressure on you. Yet you're like, I see it all the time. These dudes be in the airport in Miami. They not even first time, never even been to Colombia. All they heard was Tinder. They in the airport terminal, like, wait till I get there. I'm teared up. And I'm like, God, are you serious? It's 8 a.m. If
Oh,
you leave in
Lord.
Philadelphia, go to Cartagena, it's a 5 a.m. flight out of Philadelphia. Like you are up chasing the wrong things. And like you
Yes,
said,
Lord.
you got the opportunity to let one thing that I think moving abroad let me do more, and I think you guys will echo this is what Tisha always talking about with energy. Like it allowed me to tune in. And I've always had it, and I thought about it, and it was in my mind, but it's just loud
It's
in the
loud.
United States. And when you have the opportunity to kind of like turn that down and tune your frequency in, that's why I talked about taking the shoes off and grounding yourself. Like people don't realize that energy is actually real and the
Mm-hmm.
transfer of it, what you spend it on, man, you can get your life consumed and not realize that you won't live your life because you're just consumed up with some BS.
Correct. I think that's also what's happening to that's like a major problem in America. Like I wish there was men teaching other men how to kill their ego. That is
Mm.
one of the hugest problems we have is the freaking ego. Oh, she trying to control me. Oh, she in her masculine. Oh, he trying to play me. Oh, they crash out, killing each other, shooting people. It's your freaking ego. And that's one of the hardest things to kill, right? When you're going through all these different levels in life, working on yourself, how you respond, not being angry, leading with love, working out, killing your like it's like the biggest fucking hurdle to get over. And once you kill your ego, life becomes almost in flow state. Like there's still other things you have to do, but you become in flow state. So the arguing don't happen, disagreements don't happen, the mishappenings don't. Like in Atlanta, boy, I was in my ego. I would get speeding tickets all the time. I would always get in some drama. I was in my ego. And two, the frequency back in the US did not align with me. Always spiritual, always was different from everybody around me. But what Colombia and Santa Marta gave me was the quietness. It was the
Hmm.
space. It was the tunnel vision to like be that person I truly wanted to be without influence from friends, without influence from TV, without influence from music videos, without influence from the guys I used to date, from my parents, from people assuming who I was, right? So when I came back on the gram, I got locks. I'm completely different from what people saw me as for 20
Yeah.
some years. But I was able to get in my space and be me. I've always wanted locks. I couldn't voice that because my mama wouldn't understand it. Even when I did it, it was a big thing, right?
Yeah.
So it's the freedom. Like I just had a client here. He was here for 2 months. He brought a brand new resort here. Do you know he went through so many emotions? And I tell everybody, you're gonna cleanse, you're gonna detox. It's beautiful. I can't wait to see it happen to you because it happens to so many people, right? He was so emotional every other day, like cleansing, crying at the water, and tough guy. This is a
Oh,
real masculine man. And if you guys followed him on social media, he posted about it. He was like, yo, Santa Marta has taken me through so many ups and downs, and I'm so grateful. He was here for 2 months. And he was like, this place has changed me. He just kept posting about it constantly. And it's like, I don't know how to explain it because it's happening to you as you go about your day, and then at some point you realize like, oh wait a minute, this is a different type of frequency, this is a different type of energy. What I'm tapping into emotions I didn't know I had. I'm clearing trauma. Like it's beautiful. Like my girlfriend, she just moved here what 3 weeks ago, and 2 weeks, 1 week, it's been 1 week. It seemed like forever,
Shout
right?
out to North Philly.
Yeah. So it's like I keep telling her every day, watch what happened. Like her pain is went away. Yeah. She like so many things. She's walking now. Like she walked down to my house. We didn't walk in America. Well, I have neuropathy. So like
Yo,
it's crazy. And so so many things open up for you when you move abroad. And I honestly think Santa Marta is spiritual. But guys, just take the leap. If you can't even go full time, go for a month or two. I was scared. Go experience life. Go see what you're capable of. Like, and then one thing Michelle A was hitting on about the fact that how we are able to work together and collab. We do so much of that abroad that we never did in America, which is crazy because in America we have this mindset that everybody's out to get us. uh, Everybody's like, no, 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 nope. She gonna take my money. Nope, nope, nope. They trying to rob me. Oh, nope, nope, scamming. But the moment I got here, it was just like, what do you do? What do you do? Oh, you do that? Okay, let's put it together. Let's collab. Let's make this happen. Like my spaces is open for anybody. If you guys gotta want to do something, go do it. So I think it takes your guard down and you finally are able to truly be human again. Thanks, you waiting on fair. You waiting on fair?
nah, that's real. That's real facts. Like talk to your homegirl from Philadelphia. It's just like in Philly, not even just growing up, just living there. You could be anywhere in the Northeast, wherever the case is, but growing up, you really don't understand how loud it is. Like from a physical volume of how things are, like until you actually go somewhere. Like when you go to the South and you like, yo, it's quiet. Like I can see stars in the sky, not like smog or like just cloudiness or like it's crazy because as quiet as you think it is in like the middle of North Carolina or somewhere in the South in the country, it's even quieter in a different way when you get out because it's like you have your ears that may get a break depending on where you're going, but then you have like your spirit that gets a break and like the weight of not having weight on you that you had. So if somebody had to ask you what's the weight of America, you might say, well, it's about 50 pounds of weight, but you don't really have any grasp of that until you like, wait a minute, why don't I feel like on edge? Why don't I feel like this thing is about to get me? Like I'm like, but it's not.
Subject. Yeah.
Right. So main man at the shoreline and looking at the water, like that is a peace moment. I went through that peace moment even when I came up with Mood Travel Club. Literally, I was in the middle of the pandemic, went to Jamaica, and was it was like, bro, what are we going to do? Everything I was doing was only bringing people to Colombia. I was not a travel agent. It was just, if you wasn't going to Colombia, I couldn't help you. And I was like, well, Colombia is shut down, but here I have this want to still help people see the world, travel, and everything else. And I had the exact same moment on the shoreline, sitting at the beach, looking out, and was like, I had the time to think. I had the time to actually sit around and come up with something that I could, when I had to get back to the hustle and bustle, be all right. I could use this to better or expand my life. And it's like, y'all know, they know what it is, Tisha, because they get it just a little bit when they go on vacation, and they
Yes.
be like, oh my gosh, if I just need to be right back there. And it's just like, okay, so you know what I'm talking about.
You
But
know
what
it.
if that could be your life?
What is that? That part. That part.
Yeah, that part.
Like I said when you was talking, I was like, what if I did never get up? What if I did never move? What if I let fear keep me in America since 2021? Where would I be? What level of stress would I be in? What's going on in America? Oh my God. The
Thought about it.
energy, the beat on my body, you know how freeing and just
All
relaxed I
right
am.
there.
Oh my gosh. And like the moment I'm doing consultations and it's like, and they're just like, I have to I got to pour energy back into myself every single time because they don't even realize they are a draining battery. And it's not their fault. It's what's happening to them. But every consultation, like I get to the point where now, like they can't be back to back because I have to go and like and get back in my frequency to take the next call. And but if I'd never moved, I wouldn't even experience this. I don't even know how to put it in words. And I don't want to amp it up and be like, oh, every day is a great day. Or every day I'm just doing the most exciting thing. Shit, just sitting still is exciting. Right? Not having to run and go and be in traffic and think about all those things. And I do a
Huh.
lot and I love it. So
Perfect.
it's oh hey Kimberly. You are nonstop, Tisha. You haven't napped today. I have not. She has been on the phone with me all day. Constantine. Yes. Yes, that another girlfriend. She's in Mexico. RJ, I need to introduce you guys. But
I'm
yeah, I'm nonstop, guys. I wake up at 4 a.m. and it doesn't feel like a lot. I get to the gym at 6. I do take a little night nap, but I have a team I work with in the Philippines in the morning. I work with my Colombian team from 11 to 5. And then in the evening, I'm chilling. So it's almost like I get 3 days in one. But yeah, it's a beautiful life. It really is. And we don't be wanting to gloat. That was another thing why I never wanted to be online because I didn't want people to be like, oh, she just boasting and she just no, man, this is my life. That's America's mentality, right? Yeah, I see
But
them.
that's how it is.
You
And
see
not
it.
realizing that taking your time out of your day to sit down, considering what we know. Like Tisha, you said you hired a relocation person that don't even have a company anymore. They stopped doing it. And now you like you gotta be that. Like now if we were sitting here telling you and all of these were filmed from a beautiful restaurant with a beautiful view, and we're sitting around talking about something you don't have a high vibrational plate, then maybe I could understand somebody having the issue with something that we're saying. But a lot of this is actually the give back, the things that the community needs because I went to a good school. I went to a good college. I went to a good high school. I went to a good middle school, but there was no education. And correct me if you got it on, all right, this is how you actually go about moving abroad. This is what you need. This
Mm-hmm.
is I couldn't call nobody, an older brother, my mom, nobody I could ask. So when I move abroad, like, what do I need to know? Like, how do things operate? There was no like pamphlet. So like, for somebody thinking that we're thinking, oh, we're just showing y'all our life and telling y'all how great it is. Like, no, we still have challenges, just like the average person. But it's more so like trying to be at least a resource. I know Tisha does so many different things outside of just these conversations, but getting
I
people
know.
to understand from
I know.
consultations to showing up when people are actually in a destination. These things take time, and it takes the right kind of person that wants to do it. The people that
Yeah.
want to brag and say like, "This is what I have," we can't even be them because we would be doing a whole bunch of different things, and it probably would not be spending an hour after a very long day speaking to people, hoping that they will adhere to something that they hear on this conversation.
Mm-hmm. And that's true. Like everybody that's on the call, I can't even count how many are here with YouTube and all of that stuff. But you guys are already getting that itch, right? Something has told you, like, hey, man, there got to be another option. That's why you're here. The one thing I know for a fact now, every time the universe gave me an itch and I act on it, my life went up. Like it went up. And everybody who don't act on it always tell me, man, I shoulda, woulda, and they go through hell and hot water. So if I can't tell you nothing else, you got to start moving towards whatever it is that you've been getting downloads about. Because if you don't,
Mhm.
the universe will smack your hand. If I don't say nothing else. And to piggyback off of what RJ said, yes, even with this, y'all, when we came to Santa Marta, me and my husband literally felt like we were the only color folk here, right? Even with that company that I paid, it was like show you the houses, get you booked into that house, and that was it. It was no other services. It wasn't how to pay your utilities, how to set up all this stuff, how to find this, where to go. It won't none of that, right? So all of that had to be built out, right? And I didn't even start doing communicating about where I was until a year and a half of me being here. So it's still I still had to build it's so many pieces to it that it's not that it's hard, but there's so many pieces to it that can make your transition hard if you don't utilize someone on the ground. I hope you
Mhm.
guys understand that, because you don't want to go through this alone. Like I had my partner here, so that was like a buffer. But again, I'm a chameleon. I can do anything. A lot of people are not built that way. Um, to just jump up and do everything by themselves. I'm gonna figure it out. I don't care if I don't know the language. You're gonna talk to me. We're gonna
Yeah.
Pictionary or something. But you have to have somebody on the ground for the experience to. And to me, I live here and still as I'm growing and I'm building more and I'm looking at buildings now. I'm looking at different things. I still meet people and I pay them to do it. I don't want to go through that energy. My frequency is high. I want to remain in flow state. I'm in my abundant state. I don't want to go through the dips and the
Yeah.
drama that happens with dealing with paperwork. And that is what our team is here to do. That's what RJ team is there to do. That's what Michelle's team is there to do, to support you guys so you don't have to do it alone.
Mhm.
And that was probably the one of the best things it made my transition moving to Colombia so amazing is I did still have that person that I could lean on, right? But Michelle, you tell your part because you've been traveling what 11 freaking years.
12. We're going
12.
on.
Woo!
Yeah.
12
Yeah, this
years.
year makes 12. So yeah, I mean going into 13 next year. But yeah, I mean, and it's funny. While I'm listening to you talk the whole time, I'm like, these are the conversations that we constantly have. Like, I don't care if you meet somebody new. Like I said, we'll meet somebody in a restaurant or just out, and these are the conversations we having because it's like once you break out of that barrier, once you
Mhm.
cross that threshold, it's like we're talking about elevating on a different level. Like our bodies, we have physically moved our bodies somewhere, but also we're at least like it's our spirit, it's our everything else is moving too. So yeah, I mean, I
Yes.
just wanted to point that out. But yeah, I mean, I totally agree. And for me now, just to speak on another topic, because a lot of people are intimidated. I meet a lot of people who like will be here traveling or a digital nomad or first time moving abroad or whatever. Me, like I said, as a seasoned veteran, I guess, with living abroad and traveling, um, my personal interest, I love culture, I love language. Like I'm practicing two languages right now. Like I'm doing like two courses. I love language and I see the importance of it too, when we're in a place. Now the boss you got your whole team and they can handle stuff for you, right? I am a person because I noticed that a lot of people, I'm always like trying to give recommendations. I have the best recommendations, first of all, in
Mhm.
Medellin, okay?
Yes.
Big
But I'm
facts.
like one of the people, I feel like I part of my role right now is helping people to like navigate this, right? Like a lot of people are so scared to go and venture out because they're not so familiar with the language and they're not confident in themselves to get around and to figure things out and to do stuff, right? So that's part of what I do. Like I'll
Mhm.
take people on excursions and we go on a fruit market tour, we do different things, I like to connect people, we do language exchange stuff, cultural exchange. But yeah, I mean, like I wanted to know also y'all perspective too on like language and like really getting into the language, the culture, the like the local norms and stuff. How do y'all feel about that? Like, do y'all I think it's a big thing. I want to know for some people who will be watching too. Like, what do you have to say about the language? Is it important to you? Like, do you try to make an effort? I know it's easier as a kid to try to like, we think of being a sponge and like once you're so old, it's like you get frustrated.
Mhm.
But how do y'all feel about that? About getting into the language and all that stuff? How do you feel in your abilities now? And like, yeah, what do you think about?
RJ, how fluent are you? How fluent are you, Jay?
More
Both
fluent
y'all.
than you.
Whatever, y'all. Hey, let me say this. Can't nobody get nothing past me, right? I might not be conversational, but I understand every one of the words you're saying, right? And I'm handicapped because Michelle A is right. I do have a team with me, and I've had one since day one. Because guys, I gotta move fast. Like I'm a Virgo. My mind is like, oh, I did this. Let's go. That business is solid. It's on
Yeah,
autopilot. Let me move to the other business. I can't let language hold me down. And so I am trying, right? I am trying to be more conversational. It's more of like, but you can't play with me. I'm gonna just say that.
yeah,
Can't you can't look, they know I know it, right? They know I know it. So they know not to talk no kind of way in my presence. It's the
You know
conversation
shit
of it.
talk.
Yeah,
You like, is that shit talk that I hear?
that part. But
I
RJ,
think the
I ain't
language
heard
is
you say no
important.
Spanish.
That's cool. You speak English and I do. Why are we speaking Spanish to each other? We know how to communicate. We are speaking Ebonics. Sister, would you say we earlier we color folks? I speak color folks.
Yeah, color
Nah, but
folks, us color
seriously,
folks.
language is
that's
definitely
funny.
important. I had very minimal when I first got to Cartagena. I did not know what tu eres mi color meant. I knew he said my color, but the tu
Yeah,
eres part, I'm like, I don't know. I knew it
yeah,
from high school and college. My stepmom and my sister are fluent. They learned in college, but it wasn't something that I came to Cartagena knowing.
uh-huh.
What happened to me though was kind of some ass backward stuff because I learned my Spanish in the streets of Cartagena, moving
Wow.
around and learning, which is like learning English and like from Master P because they are like from the South. So like they like cut words off and it's like, so I'm like,
Yeah,
when I got to Medellin, I'm like, yo, my ear is really broke. Like, I don't know what they're saying. And it wasn't until I went back to Cartagena and then was able to speak fluently, to hear everything. And I'm like, okay, it's so nuanced down to where you are. Never mind
Mhm.
just
definitely.
being in Colombia.
Correct.
If you're on the coast, you are going to hear words that are
Totally
not
different.
utilized. I don't think I've heard ever Quechimba used anywhere besides Medellin. I don't
Yeah,
hear it in Cartagena. Like Parcero,
that's a big
Paisa, like
oh
these
man.
are so it is nuance. What I will tell people that are a little bit nervous about moving abroad because they may not speak the language, get some basics under you, bro. You don't gotta
Mhm.
know the whole
Yeah,
dictionary, but like,
Yeah.
um, hello, how
yeah,
are you? Those are two very good things that you need because hello and know how are you. Somebody gonna look at you crazy even if you say hello perfectly fine because
Yeah.
yeah.
it's just a part of what they do where you are. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm gonna start doing a 5 minute Spanish learning segment on here, okay? No,
I love that.
no,
In
but
serio.
you know what? No, I honestly say because I'm a teacher too, and I teach language. You know what I mean? But
So like I'm like, we have to just constantly be doing it. So on adding on where I thought you were gonna go, RJ, what you saying, learn some basics. I totally agree. But I think also a lot of times people think like, we all have different habits. Like you got type A, type, all this and that. Some people feel like they gotta have everything together before they go and make a move, right?
Mm-mm.
Just like just from what you just said, you is regional. So I'm from LA. We got Spanish all day, every day in LA. My best friend growing up was Mexican. Like I'm in her house and her parents speak no English. So like I'm like always, I've always been around it. You know what I mean? And my Mexican American Spanish, it worked in Mexico. Like I had Spanish in high school and in college, right? Took over 6 years of Spanish in school. I know all the grammar. I know how to conjugate. I know all the vocabulary, all this stuff. However, that didn't teach me how to actually have a conversation. So until
Girl.
I got here on the ground,
Yeah.
first of all, the language, the Mexican Spanish is different from Colombian Spanish. And then in Colombia, you
Oh,
have the different regions, like you said, in Medellin, there, is accents. And just like well, we got Southern accents, it's people from LA. Like when I first moved to the South, when I first moved to Atlanta for college, you know what I mean? Like I was like, what are some of these? Not everybody, you know what I mean? Like you can hear in Atlanta, you know what I mean? Atlanta proper,
finna
you
shout
can hear
it.
English, right? But you
Yeah.
get further other places, like what are they speaking? This is in the US, right? So it's like just like we have accents and different words and stuff like that, different vocabulary based on our region. It's the same thing everywhere else. So my suggestion is to go and try it out, like go and be on the ground because you learn more in person anyway. Like just by
Hmm.
constantly being around it, you just gotta throw yourself out there and just be around it.
And just
You
don't let
just
that be
being
the
in the
reason
room.
why you don't go, right? I've been here five
Exactly.
years. I'm not fluent. I'm very successful. It does not matter. And then think about too, if you think about how Asians and all of them moved to the United States and they never learn our language, but they own the
That's
block.
true. That's true.
They own the block. Okay. So guys, have that energy. Like that should believe you're a superpower. You can do anything, right? And so
Yeah.
definitely, yeah, I just seen my accountant on the line that does all of our visas and stuff. So if y'all have visa questions too, ask us in the chat. Keep your questions coming in the chat. I know we have multiple lives going. I think RJ got YouTube and all of that happening. And we're over here with Instagram and Facebook. But make sure y'all keep y'all questions coming and we'll bring them up throughout the conversation.
Yeah. Nah. I definitely tell y'all, especially shout out to all my folks that carry EpiPens, EpiPen gang. Y'all need to know what you are allergic to and how to say
Child.
I have an allergy and what it is that you have an allergy to. Do you
In
remember, Sheila, do
Spanish.
you remember? I
I
don't know if you
remember.
saw it, but okay,
I
okay.
remember exactly what you about
Yo,
to talk
so,
about.
but the crazy part is, I was awake. So in the middle of the night, like I'm like 2:30. You know how you wake up and go to the bathroom? I just happened to look at my phone, which I usually don't do.
Mm.
And somebody was like, "Is anybody awake? I need help." Like stuff. Like I'm having an allergic reaction, but I don't know what 911 is. I don't know how to speak Spanish, anything. And Royal, I think it was Royal that ended up like going over to his house, calling an ambulance, getting them to the hospital. But it's like, one, that's the importance of community, but it's just like, that's a little irresponsible, my boy, not knowing
I'm
how to,
telling
like,
you,
you, like, 911 is not the global emergency number.
It's
I need
not.
Americans to realize that. So everybody at least know what the emergency number is. And then two, if you have something as like, oh, I could go out to a restaurant and I can't ask if this has peanuts in it or whatever you should probably at least just work on that. Just
Yeah.
yeah,
just focus on that
exactly.
at least. Get that like
Yeah.
fluently coming out. But hold on, did y'all see that? What happened today?
Mm.
Apple just dropped. If you got the money, Apple just dropped the new AirPad. What do you call those things? iPod,
Uh-huh.
AirPods.
AirPods.
Mhm.
They got translation in them. So
Mm.
if you got the
Oh,
translation and they got the AirPods and I got the AirPods, You could talk in your language, and then they will hear it in their language, and vice versa.
Oh, I knew something like that was coming. I knew it was coming
Uh-huh.
soon.
I
It
sent it to
make
y'all
it.
in the chat. So y'all got some
Yeah,
help if y'all don't wanna. But I'm like, I think it's the most irresponsible thing. I see people that
yeah,
actually have allergies because I'm like, yo, if I get involved with
yeah,
peanuts, I'm gonna look like Hitch in like 30 seconds. And I knew I had to learn. If I go to Portugal, I'm gonna need to learn the Spanish word for peanut,
yeah,
how to
And the
say it in
number for
Spanish, French.
911.
I have an
yeah,
allergy.
exactly.
If it's 1, 2, 3, or 3, 4, 5, whatever the thing is, these are like legit. Like it's about what
Yeah,
you're willing to do because people
like
aren't
you said,
willing
it's
to
survival.
learn.
It's
Yeah,
just
it's
this.
it can be life or death.
How to
You know
stay
what I mean?
alive.
Like I always say, this is me with my teacher brain, my traveler brain, like everything all together is like at the very least know how to survive. You know what I mean? If you have to get home, phones die. Like people will be dependent on like, Google Translate. Your phone might die too. You know what I mean? Like what are you going to do then? So at least learn the
You lose
useful
it. You
things
left
for
it in the
like,
cab.
But
I'm
hold
telling
on,
you.
Shell. Hold on, Shell, because that's one of my pet peeves, right? So a lot of
Yeah.
people be moving down here and traveling down here. There's a couple things y'all need to have on y'all phone before y'all get here. One thing I cannot understand how people are traveling without an international plan or a SIM card. Like
Mm.
you have never been to this country, right? And you get to the airport, you can't call me, you can't call a taxi, you can't call nobody because
Like
you
I
Because
ain't
ain't
they
got
set
no
got
up your
Metro
service.
phone,
PCS, Tisha. That joint
huh?
is on probation. They got Metro PCS. That joint cannot leave the intercontinental United States. And they were like, I
I'm
didn't know that. And it's like, what are you talking about? You didn't know that your
You
phone
gotta
can't
wait till
leave
you
the
get on
US?
Wi-Fi at a
I'm not
place.
gonna lie. So if any of my clients is on this call, yeah, Nicole, the one in here, she didn't have no phone either. Couldn't even call. Look, you know how you get to immigration and they say, well, what's the address that you're going to?
Mhm.
What's the phone number? No phone to even. Guys, please, for the life of me, before you book the flight, contact your carrier and ask them, do they got an international plan? If they do not, get a SIM card before you come over here
Yeah.
or pay the $10
Something.
a day until you can get a SIM card when you come. I cannot for the life of me understand that. Number two, have at least 50 pesos. I mean, I'm not gonna tell you go transfer your money in the airport because it's really expensive, but how the
Go to
hell?
the ATM.
How
Go to
the
the
hell?
ATM.
There are ATMs in the airport. Like before
And
you
Right
leave
when
the
you get on the
airport,
other
you
side
can
of
go to the
immigration in
ATM.
Medellin, it's the airport ATM. And you can go there, just
Yeah.
decline the conversion and
Yeah.
make sure you
Decline
get your card
conversion.
back.
number
Because
Hmm.
three,
they
number three. Have Google Translate. I don't care what Miss Shelley talking about. Don't call me every 5 minutes talk about some this, that, and the third. You better have Google Translate. You can take a picture, it can translate. You can talk, it can translate. You can text, it can translate. Number four.
hold on, before you move past that, you can use Google Keyboard. Google Keyboard is it has Google Translate built in, but it's in your
Uh-huh.
messages like natively. So you download Google Keyboard and you got Google Translate, you get gifts and all that. You can search directly from
Wow.
your messages. So you don't gotta leave your WhatsApp or whatever. You can just translate directly from there. So yes, Google. If I think apps. I mean, iPhones got Translate now, but I'm
Not
old
like
school
that.
going to Colombia. So I use the Google keyboard, and that's
Uh-huh.
perfect. So
Number
number
four.
four.
Find the carrier that brings you food, groceries, and all of that prior to coming here. I'm not lying. I'm gonna stop hanging up on y'all. I'm not. No, no, no. No. And some of y'all be traveling with your wife and husband. Like, what y'all doing? What are y'all doing? So please, if you can, Google Translate some money. The food ordering app. I'm not. Do you know how many people I be having to send food to? Because
Yeah.
they just can't.
Goodness.
You can't download the app. They can't download the app.
Right.
Look, she laughing. One of my clients in here right now. I'm talking about her
You
right
super
now to her
specialist.
face. I'm everything on board. Bye, girl. My husband about to come get me. Love you, baby. All right. But
Listen, man.
but no, it's not just her. It's so many, and I'm just like, how are y'all traveling like this? Like, I'm in panic because I can't find you. I can't. I know you're supposed to be here at this time, but I can't call you. I don't know where you at. I don't know if you stuck in immigration. Y'all got to do better. Oh my God.
Mhm.
Lost and
Survival.
found.
But this is, fortunately, well, hopefully it's not like life or death situations, but hopefully it's a learning experience. And just because you might have somebody who can come and save you, because I am also one of the people, like people like, Miss Lane, how do I find, what do I do here? And I'm like, y'all, we gotta learn some basics. So while I'm happy that many of us are spreading our wings and getting out in the world more, we still gotta be wise about it. There are things, there are steps and
Just
I
be
think
adjustments
we're
we
doing
smart.
good
can
though. I think we're doing good, y'all, because I mean, if anybody was actually paying attention, we actually gave you some things that you can use. And,
make. Hmm.
Micheline, you were going for a second, I was just telling Tisha, I'm like, it don't matter what school you went to. Like, you need a hookup. You need somebody to like pull your coattail to like, I know that you don't know because I didn't know until I actually
Yeah,
left. And I had to go out there with no guidance or anything. And I'm like, the people that are watching these conversations, the people that have the ability to tune into people like us, y'all are at such a blessed crossroads that we
yeah,
didn't have. There was no like, let me just go watch somebody that gets on TV or the internet
yeah.
for an
So
hour
hold on,
and just
RJ.
find
Let
out.
me interject. Let me interject that even the sub. So you didn't fully even explain what it was like when you were talking about the peanut allergy or the guy in the. We have group chats, right? This is me from a person who almost 13 years ago, we didn't have all of these communities set up the same way. So we have communities. Now, one thing I also wanted to point out is that like when you come abroad too, it sounds like this is what y'all are kind of getting at, what both of y'all were saying, stuff like, you'll have people being connected to someone, being connected to like, somebody on the ground, right? Like when you, no matter how you were back home, a lot of people feel like, oh, I'm independent, I can figure it out, oh, I'm smart, I can work anything out, and they feel like they be prepared. They try to get themselves prepared as much as possible, and then go and make a move, and then think that they can or should stay to themselves. And it's like, I feel like, this is my personal opinion, that your sense of community should it also expand in that, right? Like you might need help. You might get like when people feel like, they get homesick or something like that. If you had community where you
Mhm.
were, maybe you wouldn't be affected by that so much. You know what I mean? Because even
I
myself, like I
miss
said,
y'all
I
in
like to
Medellin. I
learn.
want you to know that. I miss y'all in Medellin.
I
I
know.
met you too, man, for real.
You'll be back
But like,
soon.
yeah, we have community, you know what I mean, that we build and intentionally. Like I'm doing a vision board party like this coming weekend, and I'm like, I want to meet some other women who are, like I want to share. It's more like a round table conversation. Like, let's see, let's elevate together. Let's share information. Like, even with the comfort, I love when people ask me, like I offer myself, I offer services. And like I said, taking people on a fruit tour, on an excursion to a little town to help you, like get more familiar and enjoy your time here and when you travel. But I love it when somebody hits me up and it's like, I want to help ease you into that. That's community to me. You know what
Hmm.
I mean? And it's like sometimes, because I can very much be like to myself and like having a couple experiences where I was like, no new friends kind of thing. I'm glad that I still remain like with an open heart, to help usher people in, because I know this is a big move. Like it's a big
Hmm.
step, like we talked about before, with it being even a bigger spiritual thing, not just you physically moving from a space, but it's a spiritual thing too. So you want like that comfort. You want somebody to help who's familiar with you, right? And who might be able to help you in those new help you adjust in those new environments. But yeah, I think look, that's the topic right there. Community
Community.
building, community, joining in with people, getting familiar with folks, and
And they
look.
get access immediately when they go through us to our whole community. I had somebody move into our building. She came over and talked to me for hours, and she has a 5-year-old child. Like I was so shocked. Like, girl, you did it by yourself. But she was in Cartagena for a year with no community. She said she could not figure out how to make friends. And in her one
Mm,
day
That's a
of
tough
being in my
place.
house, she probably met several people because my door is always open. Now I've
yes, you
introduced
are
her
the
to every.
community house too.
My house is always open. It's nothing I can do,
Mhm.
girl, because I'll be getting up every 5 minutes to open the door. So I'm just like, come on
Right.
in. And she just like, oh my gosh, she was just overjoyed. And then her son was in here playing with my editor,
Oh,
my husband, and it was just like he needed to be in some masculine energy as well. So you
yeah.
guys need to reach out to people on the ground, or you're gonna have a
Yeah.
horrible experience. A horrible experience.
Mhm.
They it's because it is a DIY kind of environment in the United States. Everybody can kind of do it themselves.
Mhm.
We don't
Look,
use
somebody at my door.
WhatsApp in America
Come in.
unless you actually live or have people that live outside. But WhatsApp is where everything goes down. Michelet and I have been in Medellin long enough to know that the community that we were talking about that probably saved that young guy's life, it wasn't set up that way. The other chats when we first got there, or at least first got there, I feel like we got it there around the same time. It was just like it it wasn't set up like that. The people that were in it, the things that were going on, it was just more like, what can we do to party with each other? And it was just like
Yeah.
now I feel like it's so much. It's gotten so good where people that just get in town can get caught up immediately to so many different things. Whereas when we first went, it wasn't like that. And I tell people to caution themselves because depending on where you're going, we're in Medellin. The woman in Cartagena, that experience is not a canned experience isolated down to her. Like they don't, their community is not set up as far as the people, expats in the WhatsApp groups getting together, doing the things and going out. They can't go out until 6 p.m. It's 90 degrees outside. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's so many factors that don't factor into a place like Medellin, where I tell people with that intention that we're talking about and looking for where you're going in community, you have to be intentful because not all the communities are set
At
up
the
the same.
same.
I just said, I miss you guys, Medellin. I'll see you
We miss
soon.
you,
But
RJ.
I realize I'm like, man, these things are all different. And each
Different.
place I
Yeah.
go, it's going to be different. And it makes you appreciate the community that you do have. You get to
Mhm.
Yeah.
learn what you do like and what you don't like, what you realize like I need more of. Like I'm getting a lot more sun here, but I
Yeah.
miss my folks.
Yeah.
And on top of that too, it's like it is being very intentional because when you're back home, like imagine if you're still in your hometown, right, or in a place you've been for a long time, our idea sometimes of loyalty, of like the friends we choose, we're choosing our community too more
Mhm.
intentionally versus back home you might just have grown up with them, y'all probably grown so far apart, but
That part.
because you grew up with them that you're gonna keep that has to be your clan, right? So I always say my philosophy, like my thing is really when you travel you find your tribe for real, like me
Yes.
finding y'all,
That's
like
real.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you, like the way that my life just elevates, like because I meet these people, because I ventured out, right? And when we venture out, we it's like you already found that's already a part. I did a because I'm the local loctician too. Um, I did a guy's hair yesterday, right? I
Mhm.
did a guy's hair yesterday who's from Canada. And he was like, he's just talking about that. He was just saying, oh dang, I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. But
About community.
yeah, yeah, he was just saying, like yeah, like having that community is I forgot still. I can't even remember.
It happens. It happens.
Mhm. It'll come back. It'll come back. But yeah.
Grandma's house lives abroad. I tell people because some people are like, well, I'm an introvert, so I'm not about to be talking to a bunch of people I know. And I say, well, fine, stay in America and be an introvert.
Mhm.
Because if you think, and I when I first got out to Medellin, I was meeting people that was like, well, I've been here for 2 weeks and I haven't gone anywhere. And I was like, how is that possible? Like, I would have
Yeah.
gone outside to meet somebody. Maybe it wouldn't have
Yeah.
been a black person, but it just would have been somebody. I'm in a whole new country. I just been ordering Rappy, and it's like, don't do that because
Mhm.
what'll happen is you will go back with no experience, and then they're gonna say, "How was it?" And you're gonna be like, "Well, it was kind of, it was and then you done already influenced somebody else to have them going because you haven't actually lowered your drawbridge enough to see what the world has for you. They're like, I'm introvert, so I'm going to be an introvert there, but
Yeah.
I'm still going to be successful. It ain't going to
Mhm.
work. It's just not.
Oh, can we dig deeper a little bit in that little conversation? Because I just
Yeah,
had a
we got a couple
conversation
more
with one.
minutes. I don't want to keep everybody for too long, but yeah, we
Okay,
got
this is
about an
the
hour and
last
a
thing.
half
We
in.
could close it, guys. It my only request for anybody thinking about moving abroad: do not leave the place you're in to come and do the same exact shit you were doing in the United States.
Yeah.
Don't you do
I'm
it.
gonna say it again. Do not leave the place you're in now and come and to live abroad and do the same exact thing you were doing in the United States. You're going home.
Preach.
You're going home within
You're
Preach.
six
going
months to 1 year. You're going home. It
Absolutely.
will not work. It will play you out. You will lose all your money. You will burn
Preach.
out. You're going home, and then you're gonna be online talk about, oh, it wasn't. They lied. Them
yeah,
influencers lie. It wasn't
right.
cheaper. It no. You duck the dummy came and tried to do the same exact thing. And I just had this conversation with one of my clients. He got lucky. The universe allowed him to come back, and he is still hanging out every single day of the night. Also, if you coming down here
Sometimes
thinking
they
I'm,
don't learn, girl. They don't learn.
it ain't gonna work, y'all. This is the cheat code to like level up and go through so many levels, man. Take it, grab it. It's amazing. Do not come and do the same thing. I'm telling you, it's not gonna work out. So that if we can leave at that, we can talk more about it next time, child. Y'all, my door is always open.
All
So
About
right.
to say, yo, you got like
You the candy lady house.
you have
That's
a
what it
prayer
is.
meeting after you
You
get
got
off
the
here.
snacks over there.
I'm just like, hey, everybody, you know. But yeah, it's crazy, and so that's the community you get put a part of. Like people come here all the time, like, where's the black people in Santa Monica? At my crib,
Right. For real.
in my building,
Literally.
at the restaurant, So it's crazy. But yeah,
Mhm.
we've been on here for a minute, y'all. Thank you, everybody who just came on to hear us talk smack today. Our
Mhm.
conversations can go from up here to there, but it's all good information. I hope you guys are taking heed to it. The level up in spirituality that happens to you when you really, really lock in abroad is it's almost like somebody giving you the lottery because your life
Yeah.
changed in so many ways. And if I could say that to anybody, y'all really, really take this shit seriously, right? Because it's a game changer and it's beautiful. It's beautiful if you really take the time to work on yourself.
Yeah. Ain't no other podcast giving you this. We keeping
Ain't
it
none
real
of
on
that.
another
All of them
level.
talk about silly stuff. Ain't nobody doing that.
You tired of your influencers all on your TikTok feed telling you how much the restaurant is for only $40, but you don't even know where to get a place at. Come to Roots and Routes. We're gonna take care of you.
Right.
Shout out to Akeem. Akeem used to be our local Suge Knight reference once an episode. So shout out to our brother, man. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. I definitely saw all of the people tuned in over all of the networks. So make sure if you are not already, you are going to Roots and Routes podcast. You can find it on pretty much anything that you have social access to. Go there, subscribe. We are
Yeah.
also just recently on Apple and Spotify. If you want to listen to us in the car on your way to that boring ass, overwhelming job, go ahead. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Roots and Routes Podcast. RJ, I am RJ. It has been a pleasure to be here tonight with Miss Tisha and Miss Michelet. Shout out to our brother Akeem. Shout out to y'all for tuning in and sticking around. Make sure you guys come back for next week's episode. We'll be back with more, and I'm sure America's gonna have a lot for us to get talking to about. So,
Oh man. Always. All right,
as
y'all. Bye.
always, ladies, I'll see
Love you
y'all
guys.
soon. All right.
Ciao.
Ciao.